Indeed, greetings unto you, my beloved and my holy friends. Thank you so much for joining me again on another video. I do appreciate your presence. Let's melt more into being, shall we? It's a little bit of a windy day, so I have you friends a little bit, not shaded technically, is it shaded? Shielded from the wind? If some of it does make its way through, do excuse me. Oh, the wind. The wind in my hair. The hair in my face. And my mouth. Oh, the pleasure. Your fear has never been able to squeeze out of you the great gift of awareness. Hot damn. What a thing worth saying. Your fear has never been able to squeeze out of you the great gift of awareness. You know, like, there's a lot of people very scared in the world right now. And some of it is me as well, you know. Like, I'm scared for my own future and scared for the future of the planet and scared for the things I don't necessarily have control over. I just really needed this reminder again that your fear has never been able to squeeze out of you the great gift of awareness. Right? No matter how, yeah, awareness is a gift, Jovan. Like that's so true. No matter how scared we get, there's nothing is going to ever take away from just our ability to be even scared. Right? You can therefore never cease to be. Man, I think, what am I drinking water for? I already feel thirsty. Uh, hmm. Hmm. Awareness. Yeah, just awareness. Like I'm feeling like the hair tickling my face, and like there is this duality feeling inside of myself of like, oh, I need to like scratch my face because it's itching my face, and I need to tuck it behind my ear, and then at the same time, I'm realizing that is my awareness almost being in judgment of what it is feeling. So I'm just gonna leave it. I'm just gonna leave it until it like eases up a little bit, maybe. You can therefore never cease to be, dude. There is no ceasing in being. And in that knowledge, the only thing that we really can do for ourselves in this moment is just be thankful for the awareness of it. Right? So think about this. If you, with like 100% clarity, with 100% certainty, knew that you were infinite, immortal, eternal, what would you try and teach yourself about that understanding? Yes, Alex. Like, what would you try and do with that understanding? Like, I think it literally just comes back to understanding that if you were truly everything that ever was, right? If you were the very expression of God, experiencing a very small perspective of that, right? If the all is mental and we're a small perspective in that mental space, wouldn't the lesson we want to teach ourselves just to be here for that? Just to truly appreciate the awareness we have right now and in this moment and not be in judgment of it, right? Not to have an attachment to it being in one way or being in another, but just to be there for it. Man, we're getting like a right kicked on the ass from the start. Be aware of your awareness. I'm aware that I can't stop being aware, that I can't stop being aware. I realize that I realize that I realize that I realize that I realize. Oh, Nate's here as well. Life and consciousness is the ultimate crossover. Eternal blessings, friend. Eternal blessings to you as well, friends. Thank you so much, Survivor, for being here as well. Aware, you're aware. Yeah, just be aware that you're aware. Right now in this moment, we have come from wherever we are, right? No matter where we are in the world, no matter where we are in our individual lives and our individual experiences of where we think we're supposed to be going, we're already on the line we're supposed to be. And by doing things like this, by just, thank you Reddit, thank you moderators, you friends. If there's like a one moderator friend that is just lurking in chat, thank you for just making something like this possible. And for you friends for showing up, for making something like this possible. Because if we're, like, if you want to visualize a human life as this line, right? Going from place to place on the planet, going through interaction to interaction, and then being able to intersect or cross over or just meet another person on this divine path that we're on. And to understand that even though we're all going to have our own little line of creation, line of like life that we're following, our lines can kind of coincide or move in the same direction. And by realizing that we don't only have to constantly intersect, but we can also just encourage one another to continue going, right? Just to encourage one another. Like, this is something I'm realizing these days especially. An encourager, a true person that like believes in you and wants to encourage you is so rare. It's something that's so rare. It's a shame, really. This guy, I'm so thankful your positive energy can reach us. I'm so thankful that you're absorbing it, my Swiss fart, Swiss cheese fart. My friend, I'm happy that you can like take this in, because at the end of the day as well, like if you didn't stop your like line of existence for a split second for them to come into like contact or to intersect right now in this moment, then you would not have this experience. I would not have this experience of having you experience the experience, right? This is a co-created thing. Like, we're not separate, not at all, not even remotely separate. And now you can say, oh, you melt more. I have a separate body. What are you talking about, dude? I'm separate from everything else. Now I'm like, okay, if you think of yourself as separate from everything else, and I took everything else away from you, right? The entire planet, the people that you spend time with, all of the trees that produce your oxygen, and I just leave you in the void of space. Are you separate? Can you truly survive separately from all of the rest of existence? No. No, we cannot. So with that understanding, we're not separate, right? And not only are we not separate, but we're influencing one another. And we can choose whether or not we want to break or build this world. And I think for a lot of time, people have been breaking it. We need to stop that. I love you, Nate. You are part of this. And all of us, absolutely. This stream, you friends, have all dramatically altered my life. Thank you for being, Nate. You've altered my life as well, friend, in turn. Like, having you show up, having you, like, literally speak eternal blessings over my life, over the life of the rest of our friends, and doing it consistently, you know, with the intention of just imagining eternal blessings over someone, imagining them with a big smile on their face, prosperous, happy, in wonderful relationships, in wonderful environments, ecstatic about life, living life, if you will. And just putting that energy forward into the world instead of being in a place of fear of it or a place of judgment of it, where you're like, oh, this thing shouldn't be like this, and then you can feel, right? You can feel that feeling within inside of yourself when you're in judgment of something. It's like this contraction away from, it's not the way. It's not what we're supposed to be doing. I don't know what you mean by follow your line. My friend, like, I don't know what I'm meaning by follow my line. I'm just thinking about it from like a perspective of, I'm like walking, right? Every single day. Most of us walk around in our lives to go and fetch ourselves food, get to our cars to go to work, go from our car to into our building, whatever. So imagine, like, from the point of your head, there is like a funnel, okay? And then as you move through this universe, through this space that we call Earth, you're like drawing a line, right? So, man, it's difficult to explain. This is me like completely like head cannoning it like from the worst possible place. Like I don't know anything. Let me just say that. This is how I visualized it. So with this like funnel, like and okay, the reason it's like I call it a funnel. Technically, it's a torus, right? Like a donut. So it has like an in-sloping edge, and then it kind of like comes back out, and then it circles around it, right? So we have like a feel like that around us. But as a result of that, there is a funnel coming into our heads. So as you move this torus around, you're like moving this line of existence, your line of existence around. Usually, for us to kind of come together and join in this like way where we can kind of interact with these lines, where we can, so think of it in a mathematical term, right? Two parallel lines in math will never intersect one another. Even though they're going in the same direction, they'll never intersect one another. So even though we're not quite as basic as just two parallel lines, we can kind of visualize in an abstract way how we will be drawing lines on this plane of existence that we live. And as we're drawing our lines, other people are drawing their lines as well, experiencing their lives, and we can kind of come together and kind of co-create, move towards, push ourselves like as individuals to like appreciate each other's like lines of existence as well. And by intersecting with each other's lines of existence, we get to experience more of life. Like you friends know that if you have like a genuine friendship, or you're in an amazing relationship where you feel like there's no boundaries for you to share things, you don't have to like be worried about being vulnerable, you don't have to worry about talking about your sexuality, you don't have to worry about talking about your beliefs in politics and finances and you name it. And you can just genuinely be in that space, in that tender space with another person, and just know that you are loved, right? That is something that is so valuable to me as an individual, and I believe it's valuable to you friends as well. But it's impossible for us to experience those things if our lines then cross with others. Does that make sense? I do hope so. I do hope so. Love to you as well, Nate. Hair care regimen on point. I'm happy you think so, because this is what my hair looks unconditioned. It's absolute chaos. But yeah, namaste. Thank you, Fred. I appreciate your love. Do you know Terence McKenna? Not personally, even though I would wish to, but I do know of Terence McKenna. He's an absolute pioneer. One of our brave psychonauts that kept the message of dimethyltryptamine alive for long enough, so that there can be new scientific research going into it these days. Things are going to change, friends. Our understanding about what it means to be human is going to dramatically change in the next few years. One day! Oh, dude, it's so nice to have you here. Thank you for the silver, my friend. Dude, you're one of those peeps. Especially one of those peeps that I want to cross lines with. I want to sit down with you. I want to have a chat with you. I want to have you just walk casually, across the stream here. And then pop your face in there. Hopefully soon, man. Hopefully within the next 2 years. The stream is so helpful. I hope you know you helped a single dude. Swiss cheese farts, you've helped me as well, friend. Every single one of you have helped me gain so much understanding about how I choose to express. Because with you friends, basically influencing my life, I realize, especially with negativity. I was thinking today about something negative someone said yesterday, right? And obviously it's not impossible for us to get negative sometimes. We all know about that, but it's not something that I necessarily want to practice. I don't want to be thinking about the negative things that are said, because they're not building me and they're not indicative of the things that I believe in my own life. It's an expression of the other person at the end of the day. And yeah, it's just with that realization again, you can have 10,000 nice things said about you, and then one bad thing. And for some reason we have this incessant need to hold on to this one thing that hurts me, this one little piece of cactus. Everybody was bringing me beautiful little dandelion flowers. One person brought me a cactus, and I was so angry that I grabbed onto this cactus and I was like, oh dare you hurt me with this cactus, clenching it. not realizing that that clenching of it is what's hurting me at the end of the day. I don't believe you. You're not a monk. I'm not a monk at all, friend, and I'm not asking for you to believe me. All I'm asking is for you to take these things into your consciousness and live from the felt fact of your immediate experience. Mm. Awareness. Ooh, man. I'm feeling like it's being thrusted upon me today. Do you believe that our way of thinking is a threat to modern social norms, to authority looking to control? Authority looking to control. So that's a loaded question you're asking me, Nate. In some ways, I do believe that. In some ways, but like it's difficulty because the things that we believe, the esoteric ideas we share, is not for everyone at the end of the day, and that is completely okay. It doesn't have to be for everyone. So with that understanding and with that knowing, like there is going to be resistance to the things that we believe no matter what, and that's okay. So how that resistance is gonna look for us in the future, I'm still unsure of, but I'm pretty sure we're going to be met with some resistance. But if we weren't, I mean, it would be too easy, right? So I guess here we go. Edmund won't be able to stay for long. Going to the art museum with my brother this morning, but had to stop in until I leave. Edmund, tell your brother that I love him as well, friend. I've heard so much about him, and I want to send him some vibes. Thank you for the silver, McFiggy. I appreciate it. Yater is here as well. I'm doing good, friend. How about you? How about you? Awesome. Sounds awesome. Have fun. It really does sound awesome. It will happen, my friend. I look forward to the day, Darcy. I look forward to the day. Yater, thank you, Rena. Lines melting across each other. Hang Melbourne. Yeah, dude. Hey, shut up, shit. You know, friend. It's nice to see you. Ooh. We have Naomi here as well. It's been a while, friend. What is the intention today? The intention is awareness, Edmund. Just being open to awareness. Awareness of what it is. Like, and weirdly enough, as soon as I took that sip and I said awareness, I became super aware of my own face and like how it was feeling if I was like tensioning it too much or being too expressive. Oh, your Bobby, like this pop looking at me through the window, and now she's making puppy sounds. Let me go and get her quickly. Hey, hey, kom, samen met mij, kom, kom. Kom, zit samen met mij. Oeh, amper zit ik op jou. Hallo jij. Zeg hallo voor die mensen. Zeg hallo voor die mensen. Hallo. Au! Zeg hallo voor die mensen. Au. Au. Zeg hallo voor die mensen. And there she goes again. Hey Edmund, how are you doing? I hope that you're well, Naomi. Man, I feel like I misaligned myself sitting down. You want to go and sit on the lap again? You want to eat my toes? Looks like she's just eating toes. I'm pretty well, getting ready for work. Been very busy. I hope everyone has been holding up well. I've been holding up well. How have you been holding up, Naomi? How has the busy days been? I've been thinking about your flower garden a lot, actually. How's that coming along? Long time no see. Hope you're well. Thank you for the hugs, koala beer. I appreciate it, my friend. Been feeling very overwhelmed with the Discord. I must confess. Sorry that I have been absent. You don't have to worry, my friend. Like whenever you feel like you want to share something that is going to be your divine expression, like you don't have to think of it any more than that, right? If you're in a moment and you're like, man, I want to share this thing, then feel free to do that. If you don't feel a need to share anything, then you don't have to do that either. Just live in the felt fact of your immediate experience, Naomi. Do what it is you feel is right. I will share your love and vibes with him, my friend. Thank you, Edmund. I appreciate that. I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. Happy you're doing well as well, Yater. I'm not sure, but no. Okay, I was unsure completely. Hey, do you want to get on my lap again? The wind cold? Is the wind's cold? Oh yeah, I meant to post some pictures of the little decorations I got for my planter. Please do share that with us. That sounds amazing, Naomi. Little decorations for your planter. She's such a little feisty one. She's trying to play with one of the older dogs. He's probably going to bark at her in a second. I wouldn't be surprised. Ah! Putting her snout in my water glass. All things are contained within your awareness. If they are not found there, they do not exist for you. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much, huh? How does that make you feel, friend? Like hearing something like that. Like sometimes when I get really expressive about how these things make me feel, it makes me just feel this rush of like awareness in its own. Like this rush of, oh shit. You know, that, oh yeah, that I remember, it makes sense. All things are contained within your awareness. If they are not found there, they do not exist for you. Damn. That's making me feel some things. You know, because like I'm thinking now about the power that I'm using in my own life to make things as they are, you know, even though I don't want them. For instance, repeating negative things that have been said to me by others, or the negative things I say to myself. And then becoming aware of these things, but as a result of that, making a home for them. So I can get to the point where I can become completely unaware of my own negativity, of my own biases, of my own, you know, resistances towards just awareness. Be it the doges that are making noises next to me, be it like look at, like you can probably start. Oh, he moves again. She's really trying to play with it. Look, listen to him. He's like not having it at all. He's like, leave me alone, please. Just leave me alone. All right, I have to head out now. I love you all. I will talk to you later. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Have a wonderful day, Edmund. Hey, stop it. Stop it now. Stop it. Lost some weight. Lost some weight. Look at her watch him. Okay. Like the dude, like he's 14? No. He's 15 years old. He's like in his 90s and dog years. And then there's like 12-week-old puppies gassing him up. Gassing me up as well. Fortunately, he's like mostly deaf. So he's probably just like seeing, mostly deaf and mostly blind. So he's... Hey, shush. Shush. You know what? I'm just going to be here for it. This is the experience. Okay. Have a wonderful day, Edmund. Have a wonderful day, my friend. I love plantains. Some seafood. So good. That sounds nice. Thank you all. I will take photos of some cool art and share with you all. Please do, dude. I have a thing for abstract art, Edmund. So if you can like consciously choose. Los. She's pulling my pashmina. That's bad. Can't do that. Like I wouldn't mind if this was like a one piece, like it was only one color. But all of these things, like you see how this thing is loose now. That's because of her like little nails and stuff that gets caught in them, and it hurts me. Like it like physically hurts me when I see stuff like that happen. Upstairs this, Kiki. Bye, Edmund. Have the best day with your brother at the art museum. It sounds amazing. Like, I've only been to, I think, one art museum, and it was like in China, but it was still amazing. I really enjoyed it. I also went back to the gym this week after taking a week off, and now I've been pretty sore, but I'm proud of myself for getting back into it. I'm proud of for getting back into it, Naomi. Getting back into it is usually the hardest part. No. Like, I'm thinking, especially just this. I don't know if it's just me. Do tell me if you do the same thing. But, like, sometimes, no, most times, we're either doing, like, oh, I have this exercise regime, right? I'm exercising every day, I'm doing this, and that, or like 5 times a week. And then if we're stopping to, like, we stop doing that, then we're doing nothing. Like, I won't even do a single push up in an entire day because now I'm not exercising. And it's curious to me why we do that. I'm genuinely curious about that. I'm trying to figure out why we're like either all or nothing on things. Why can't we have like some sort of mid zone? East Coast Rabbit! Hey, my friend. It's been forever since I've seen you. It's so nice to have you here. Kiki sounds like a little feisty monster. Motor, she really is. Like, she's like legit just chewing on the cushion I'm sitting on right now. You see this? You Reddit friends will be able to see this, but she's a riot. Like, she's a little bit much these days. Just a wee bit much. I feel like I'm like an old man trying to deal with a little creature, which is exactly what's happening. In comparison, I'm so old to her. Dum-dum-dum. Look how that worked. You were like, I'm going to just be here, and the dog comes down. And then I spoke. You jinxed me, Yater. How dare you, dude? And then the Pashmina got it. Yeah, like I was just. Fortunately, she got one of these little strings. She didn't get it on here because if she like attaches her teeth to my Pashmina, she's just going to completely tear it apart. Like. Just goodness. Can you tell she's biting me as well? No. Can you come down? Can you come down for a second? No? Okay. I missed your streams. I missed you, East Coast Rabbit. It's nice to have you here again. Luke is here as well. Hey, Luke. Thank you for the tree hug award, friend. I appreciate that. How's your mom been, man? Like, I'm always sending her my regards, but I'm never asking her. No! Oh. Yeah, now there's holes in my pashmina. Oh man, this hurts my soul so much. I don't know if you can see it. You should be able to. There's a She's chewing on the cushion again. Like, I feel this is mostly our fault for letting her just continue and continue. Is that a Jack Russell? It is. It is a Jack Russell. I need some motivation to get back into it. I'm going white water rafting next week. Does that count? Of course it counts, friend. White water rafting is going to be like some vibes. It's very good exercise. I mean, in the moment, because you kind of have to keep yourself upright. So it's like a constant tensioning of your core. But it is good for you. It definitely is good for you. And it is just going to see such beautiful things on your water rafting. Like, it's like a constant moving mosaic of beauty all around you. Get her a chew toy, bro. She has multiple chew toys. She just prefers fingers and cloth for some reason. Like, she has a proper piece of rope as well that she can chew on. She just doesn't. All or none. Funny how we are extreme. Yeah, Yater. I wonder why, friend. Wild dog. She is like, come play with me. She's not even trying to play with me. She's trying to play with this old dude. Like, I'll show you quickly. Like, that's what she was barking at. And then she wasn't getting what she wanted out of him. So she was like, okay, you're going to be the next one I antagonize. And she knows, like, one of the ways to get my attention, I guess, would be to pull on my pashmina. 4 holes ain't that bad, right? You know, the thing that bothers me more than the holes, like, look at that. You know, that's now a big hole in my pashmina. Is the fact that I've only had it for like 2 months, maybe a month. I want to give one of these pashminas to my grandchildren's grandchildren one day when I'm in my 150s. Now I'm already destroying. I'm going to a Van Gogh exhibit at an art museum in August. I'm very excited. Please do share that with us as well. Nate, that sounds amazing, friend. I did, lol. I was like, next time I will silently make an observation to myself. You were like thinking, don't say it, don't say it. If you say it, then you're like throw some wrenches into the universe. Growling on the growling on the cushion. She is a doll. You should see her aura, lol. Take it off for now, till she is over this. Like I usually lift it up so she can't reach it, but she kind of just went for it while I wasn't paying attention. My dad came and fetched her, fortunately. Shouldn't she have a chew toy to play with? Again, Rena, she has chew toys, friend. That's not the problem. She has multiple chew toys. Like, there's probably from some of her chew toys on the grass behind me right now. They never slowed down, so get ready. Am I on? Oh, no, 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 I know, friend. They don't slow down, but they learn boundaries. Like, that's something that's important as well. She is a Jack Russell. She's going to have a lot of energy, but she needs to learn that some things are not okay, right? Like, grabbing onto your clothes and pulling and ripping it, that's not something that's going to be okay. And like with those dogs as well, if you don't kind of tell them what's okay and what isn't okay, they become a little bit manic and crazy. No Jack Russell, like they're yeah, they really are quite like that. Hello to you, Complex Cat. It's nice to have you here, my friend. They will make toys out of things you don't want. Yeah, like they're very resourceful as well. Like I know she is, and I've made her chew toys. So like it's not like she has a lack of chew toys. She just yeah, she's spicy and she likes to test her own boundaries. Wow, have you ever done any modeling? I used to go to a modeling like agency school. I was signed with them. I did a few runway shows, and then I stopped when I went to China. So yeah, that's kind of when the story ended. Happy little buggers, 24/7, 365. They really are. Is that Mr. Bingo? And how's Eva been? I feel like she hasn't made an appearance lately. She hasn't actually. Eva. Hmm. Eva. I don't see her around. Yeah, as I've said, Jovan, when it's cold like this, she's just kind of chilling as well. Oh, look who's back. Look who's back. No. None of that. None of that. You ain't going again? Directly back to Bingo. He doesn't like it. You see, like a chew toy doesn't help with stuff like that because she's being feisty. That's literally what she's trying to do. She's like biting him and stuff. Shame. Now it has character, and your grandkids will ask about the holes, and you can tell them the tale of your crazy Jack Russell baby. I can even go back to this stream and show them, friend, because I document them. That's true. That is true. Thank you for changing my perspective. Thank you, friend. You are actually broadening my perspective, and that was Bingo. Jovan, he's so old. 15 years old. He's as old as my sister. 15-year-old dude. Yeah, he's been around for a long time. And she's just looking for things to devour now. She's biting shame. Her problem is that they are born with ADHD. Yeah, pretty much. Like now she's distracted again. She was biting him for like a second ago. And now she's biting the cushion again. I don't know if you can see her. My Jack Russell was insane as a pup. He matured and became the best dog I've ever met. So much personality and intelligence. I've had the same. So we've had like a Jack Russell. We've had multiple Jack Russells before. Bingo is a cross between a Jack Russell and a Fox Terrier. So we've had Jack Russells before and we know how to deal with them. But we also know how our previous dog turned out. And he was disciplined accordingly as well. And he didn't eat our shoes and rip our clothes. He would sometimes, occasionally, kind of bite your toes. But yeah, like we were actually talking about him yesterday. My mom telling us like the biggest hinding that Kiko got was when he was like chasing sheep. My mom had like saddles on it, had like little fluffy things on it, and she was walking and they would like kind of move around or like fall and move around. And his like little doggy brain was like, oh look, something to bite, and he kind of gnawed down on my mom's foot, and she just kind of gave him a hinding. He didn't do that again. He learned his lesson. She is like you called. Lol. Yeah, that is probably actually why she came. Even though I was calling for Eva. She was like, what? You've summoned me. Fortunately, she's just chewing on this little cushion now. I shouldn't encourage that either, but at least she's not chewing on my old dog, or me, or my pashmina. So like I feel we're kind of at like a, what is the the best of these worlds that we have to kind of consider. Ow. Ow. Hey Scarmelia. A chew toy doesn't fight back. Kiki is craving interaction. Godspeed, Estienne. You're so right, Yater. Like I interact with her literally all day as well, friend. That's I literally interact with her all day because this doesn't stop. Like I hope you friends do realize that like this is not just me sitting down with you friends for like an hour and a half. This is an all day, every day kind of thing. Like you're kind of just, it is the way that it is, and now she's trying to eat my book as well. You see, I have to hide stuff from her. Can you calm down, please? Please, just calm down, please. Back to chewing cushions. Hey Mel, gonna be back on later, but the kids decided they needed to be sitting right on me. Of course, there's no other spot in the house going to be as comfortable as right where you are, most uncomfortable. How many Hawaiian shirts do you have in your collection? I think 10 or 11. Yeah, 10 or 11. So like they're in rotation, friend. I'm happy that you appreciate them. Like she's an insane, like she's just crazy. Like properly look at her. Fortunately, that's not my flesh. You know, that's one thing I'm grateful for. Dum. Lane is here as well. Hey Lane. Lane, I literally was about to tag you. It's day 169 noise. You see, I knew there was gonna be a noise freaking reference, and I was thinking about that as well. But I was like, I'm not going to be the first one. And here Lane shows up with usual fun as his instigator, if you will. Pups are a lot of work. They are. Like I'm not complaining, obviously. But they are a lot of work. They're like a little child. Yeah, I heard things starting to tear. There's holes in the cushion as well now. Like she knows what she's doing isn't what she should be doing. Little Ryan. Hey Ryan, thank you for joining us, friend. I am here. I love you all so much. Just got done mowing my lawn. No! Stop it! Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. She's like really getting her teeth in the sides of the fabric and like ripping it apart now. She figured out how to destroy it, and then she was like, "Oh, sick! This is making noises when I tear it apart." Calm down to a Jack Russell. May as well be speaking a language from another planet. Fortunately, she knows means that she's doing something wrong, and then making loud noises. Like she doesn't really like that, so she stops. Fortunately. What's up, Lane? Ryan, nice to see you. Nice to see you have your own yard to mow. Yeah, yeah. Freaking Ryan is balling, man. Man has his own house before he's 30. It's been working, it's been grinding. And that is not snowing anymore. Yeah, like especially that part. Like you probably have like what a month or two of like hot weather in store for you, Ryan. How much do you have? Like, is it about time where you actually get to have less snow, where it's not constantly freezed over almost? Jovan, it's pretty unreal. I was thinking about, wow, this piece of land is mine to love and care for. It really is. Are you allowed to grow in your state? Like, I'm guessing it would be really difficult because of your really short summers. But are you allowed to grow outside if you wanted to? Mm-hmm. My fiance and I just had our offer accepted on a home. Feeling blessed. Nate, that's amazing, friend. We have another friend that is buying a house. Goodness. And the fact that you have a fiance. Like these ideas are like fiancés, having kids, buying houses are like things that are beyond me at the moment. Uh, 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 uh. Literally like 3 months of good weather, lol. Yeah. So like I'm genuinely curious if you wanted to grow what? Grow cannabis selling cookies here. Most sus name yet asking me about something that is sus. Like she's chewing on the electric wire as well now. This poor like I feel worse for Bingo. Like I'm just imagining myself like my body is like 23 years old, right? His body his body like is 15 years old, and that's like in dog years in his 90s. So he's like just this like worn down old man, doesn't want to deal with like young shenanigans, and this like weeks old baby is like biting at his face and like biting at his feet while he's just trying to chill out. Right, like just think you're just sitting on the couch, and then suddenly you have this thing that attacks you and bites your and you're like just oh goodness. I feel for him. I feel for him. Mine and my boyfriend's anniversary is tomorrow. Gonna be giving him more to tort, and I couldn't be any more excited or nervous. I really hope he likes my gift. I'm sure he will, Scarmelia. I'm sure he will, friend. Lol, no plans to have kids though. Like I think it's going to be okay. They recently did like a case study as well of a bunch of people asking them, about their life happiness, not having kids as well. And apparently like 1/3 of our population is okay and happy in their lives not having kids. Could could be a great thing for our population curve because we're basically going to be within the next 10 to 15 years going to come to the top of our curve, our population curve, and then it's probably going to come down again. Just with the advancement of technology, people having less children because children survive more reliably, and like with this technology that we're developing right now as well, we're going to live significantly longer as human beings. So it won't be sustainable to continue having kids at the rate we've been having kids. You're bringing me an avocado? Can I just show you the poor state of this avocado? Like it fell from a tree, and like this is what Kiki did to it. Are dogs allowed to eat avocado? No, yeah. I think parrots aren't allowed to eat avocado, that's right. I can grow because I have a medical green card in Montana. You can grow anything that will grow outside. Ooh, that sounds fantastic, dude. Like, would you consider, because technically you would be able to grow within 3 months, technically, if you wanted to. Like, I'm just imagining you like germinating little saplings inside of your home with some like basic lighting, and then when it like comes to the hotter season, you can get them in the ground. Maybe still cover them with something that can insulate them a little bit, and then as they get bigger, and it moves into like the other 2 hot months, and gets to like end, it's gonna get pretty cold again. So you might even have some nice purple buds, dude. I thought it was tomatoes. It might be tomatoes as well, selling cookies. Looking forward to buy some strawberries and go read a book in nature after the stream. That sounds blissful. Strawberries, a book, in the middle of nature, Rena. Like, Flu, do send us a photo. Like, I'm just imagining, like, the little bowl of strawberries, like the book, and just, like, seeing trees. Man, that's amazing. Thank you for sharing that imagery with me. Look at all of us kids being big kids. Worked on it for a year on contract, and now I signed the papers to finalize my house stuff in about 3 hours. Javon recently bought a house as well, and she's like renovating it. Been an absolute machine. Like, she's already made a lot of progress. And I look forward to seeing the rest of it, Javon. You should like keep us up to date. Like, send us photos when you finish stuff. Congrats, Javon. So excited. Happy for you. Same. So proud. It's really a big, amazing, beautiful, loving step in life. It really is. Avocado is toxic to dog. Causes vomiting and diarrhea. Are you serious? Are you serious, Carmelia? Do I have to take it away from her? Oh goodness. I'm probably going to become her new target, but I'll take your word for it, Carmelia, because I do not have access to the internet right now. Every day I live in my house, more and more feels like a dream. Life is probably, a divine dream. And we are one aspect of this dream. A necessary aspect of this dream. If we weren't a part of this dream, then we wouldn't be in the dream, right? Costs something, like if it's mental energy, if it is chemical energy, if it is electrons flowing through a supercomputer in that shape of energy. Each and every single one of us are being rendered, being created, being computed, being thought about, being loved, being made right now in this moment constantly and consciously. And if we weren't, we would cease to be. And that would be the end of it. But here we are. Right, here we are. The hard part about growing outside is how cold it can get at night and early morning. Last week it got down to 28 degrees. Yeah, that's gonna be the biggest problem. Like, if your plants get to the point where the water inside of them freezes, they're kind of donezo, unfortunately. Ow! 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 Ouchie! 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 Ow, 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 ow. Hey nou. Nee, zit hem ook niet. Yeah. What would you say, Scarmelia? Disciplining this doge. Little by little. How due to person being an avocado, it can be toxic to animals. It's probably okay in a smaller quantities, but best to avoid it though. Yeah, like, we're not feeding her avocado. Like, she literally just found herself an avocado on the ground because we have an avo tree. And she just kind of went to town with it. She kind of brought it over here. But gets cold at night. Yeah, like, then it's probably going to be best to do something like indoor. If anything, Ryan, you can literally just kind of move your plants outside. Many bite me. You can just move your plants outside and bring them inside during the really cold times. Like, if anything, I think that would be the best way to do it. Like, the problem is you're going to be having to like carry, what, like 20-gallon bags, which is not going to be easy, but it would be possible. I was just thinking about Wow, all here are in my dream, and I live in love, and as I live and love. So thank you to everyone for the blessings and support. Thank you, Ryan. It's always cold. Hey, Meltmore, Sacred Field, nice to see you. You need to shave your beard and get over the Buddhist monk stream and tell him to answer my questions. Get over to the Buddhist monk stream? Like, I mean, he doesn't answer my questions sometimes as well. Maybe the questions we're asking, he doesn't feel he necessarily has an answer to. Maybe your questions are too hard for him to answer, Sacred Field. And maybe, los, 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 ah, los, stop eating my damn pashmina. Stop, 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 please. No, no, no. Listen, like you can come and sit on my lap and just chillax. How about that? How about that? How about you chillax a little bit? How about chillaxing for like 1 hour out of the entire day? How about that? How about you chillax? Just for a little bit. Anyway, friend, about monk life. Like maybe he doesn't have an answer to your question, and maybe that's okay. Maybe that's okay, friend. Growing outside of my area is tough. Season changes too quickly before the plant finishes. Like the best way I think you can do, or at least you can mediate some of that environmental issues, is with the bags. Cold at some point, Lamar. Los. There we go. But it's literally changing all the time with the weather. I can feel that. I have to keep in containers to move in and out. I was thinking that as well. Serena is being extra clingy today. I mean, better that they're clingy than they shun you, right? Feel that. I want to turn half my garbage into green garage into greenhouse to grow plants in. That sounds perfect, dude. I mean, like what could you find? Like I'm actually thinking back to one of my uncles. Like my grandmother remarried, and this is the uncle of the grandpa of mine that passed away. She remarried and married my step grandpa or whatever, and like she had a child, two children with them, and one of those children was Jock, and him and his friends were growing weed in the garage, like while it was still very illegal in South Africa, and yeah, it was just such an interesting thing seeing the difference in generation between my dad, my uncle who was 20 years or like 17 years younger than my dad, and then my generation, because it's like this 20 type of separation. I want to turn, I've already done one. Hi. Hey, as Derry. It's nice to have you here, friend. How have you been? I can't understand. What did you say? My from is Iran. Okay. Thank you for joining us from Iran, friend. I'm guessing you mean I am from Iran. I'm being eaten by a small little monster. She has no remorse. Oh! Eina! Eina! Je maakt me zeer. Eina is how we say ouch, technically. Our Afrikaans word for ouch. Honestly, want to look into growing my own tea leaves. Make my own tea and shit. Yeah, dude. That sounds pretty sick, actually, Lane. That sounds really sick. Do you do saging? Grow your own sage as well, man. That's an awesome idea, Lane. I love tea. I have been enjoying a rose petal tea. Is it like actual rose petals, Ryan? Archie. Yes, dude. I have planted some spearmint. I can't wait to do more. Ooh, that sounds amazing as well, Jovan. How big are your trees? I see my from Iran. I say my from Iran. I heard you, friend. Thank you for joining us all the way from Iran. This is South Africa. Why must I punish myself every single day? Every day, Beanie gets peanut butter because she likes it, but she always makes a massive mess. Then stop giving it to her until she stops making a mess. Like, you should draw some boundaries as well, Scarmelia. Like, I'm not a parent, obviously, and I can't, like, I know nothing. But like the masculine problem solver in me is like, if this is a thing that keeps happening, then like you should change some variables. Like, tell her she doesn't get peanut butter unless, or she can get peanut butter, but if there's any peanut butter left afterwards, oh man, we gained a new little loop. Actually, I should do this so you can actually see it. We gained a new little nail loop. Uh, um, so like change variables. Tell her if like the place that she was eating the peanut butter in isn't clean, then next time she's not receiving any peanut butter or receiving half the amount of peanut butter she received this time. And then if it happens again, then half it again. Like you can technically keep going until she has like a literal molecule of peanut butter left. But I mean, if that's what you have to do to reduce the mess, then that's what you have to do. Like I'm genuinely serious about this as well, Scarmelia. Like if you reduce the amount of peanut butter she gets, then she won't want to waste it, would she? My favorite tea is lavender, so I'm going to try and start with that. Lavender grows like it wants to grow, fortunately, Lane. It really wants to grow, dude. Ow, 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 ow. I'm like trying to space my fingers out so she can't actually bite down on them. Otherwise, she crushes me. Ow! Oh, 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 oh. Ah, ah. Nice, Lane. I am in the process of growing lavender plant as well. There we go. So maybe you can give Lane some tips. Oh yes, rose tea is awesome. How was day 69, 100 days ago? Jeez, time flies. Dude, time flies way too fast, man. Way too fast, and I feel like I'm already not the same person again that I was on day 69, dude. Like we're not, right? We're constantly changing. Oh! Ah. I have a huge amount of lavender. It grows very well here. I take some photos for you next time at my family's house. Please do read out. Ow! Ow! Ouch! Stop! Stop it! Stop! Stop! Stop it! Please! Please! Please stop! Stop eating me! Please! Please! Just. Do you see my skin? Ah. Like, fortunately, I am thick skinned, but if she does this with my mom, she actually, like, she has my mom bleeding afterwards. You're gonna calm down now, aren't you? You're gonna leave my pashmina alone? Gonna leave my pashmina alone? And we're gonna calm down. Literally a big rose, and you put hot water on top of it. Ooh, that sounds amazing. Dan, when you put it that way, geez, yeah, dude. 100 days have passed again. We're almost at day 200. We should do something important for the 100 integers, right? Keep some sort of sanity in my time being passed. Like, I'm keeping my fingers away from her and she's losing her mind because she's not getting to bite onto something. Ow. There you go. Sounds awesome, Rena. It really does. Oh, I think I missed one. You can do so much with lavender too. It's known to deter pesky buggers, and you can cook with it. You put it in your bud. Put it in your bud. You can like literally use it as a stress reliever. You can sniff some lavender stalks just before you go to sleep, and it helps improve your sleep quality. It improves your sleep quality as well. Yeah, lavender is great. Nature's medicines. Oh, that sounds awesome. As she grows up, she will learn not to make a mess. It's actually good for her to play with her food at her age. Helps with motor control functions. She's just a year old. Okay, that makes sense as well. Uh, how I know no one, but I know no one who is using lavender in a tea from here. Usually they make it into oil. Yeah, you can extract the oils as well, right? Uh, Linoleum? Is it called linoleum? Stop ripping my clothes. Stop it. Stop it. She knows what she's doing is. Oh! Like, she knows. And that's the thing. She's intelligent enough to realize that her actions have consequences and that she's allowed to do certain things and not allowed to do other things. And then she kind of pushes it, right? She'll go out of her way to do these things she knows she's not allowed to do, just to kind of see if she can get away with it. And then as soon as I make some noise, then she's like, "Oh, what? I mean, I wasn't doing this thing. What are you talking about?" I mean, my parents won't know about the last thing, Jovan, but I'm definitely keeping a small bit for the bud. There we go. Dum. Right lane, like what? Funny how time appears to go faster as time goes on. I swear each year seems shorter than the last one. I know this isn't true, but curious on why we perceive it in that way. Like, it is technically true, Yater. That's the reason. That's the reason we perceive it in that way, because quite literally every single year that passes of our life, it is a smaller percentage of our lives being passed. Like, if you're 1 year old and another year of your life passes, then you're 2 years old. Now you have lived 50% longer. But if you're 100 years old and another year passes, now you've only lived less than a percentage longer, right? So quite literally, as a result of that, there is a time dilation sort of thing happening that is constantly making us feel like time's speeding up, because it's smaller and smaller percentages of the whole. Can you not? Please, please, please stop. Just please eating me. Please, you're hurting me. You're hurting me. You're hurting me. Day 200, that's nutty. Sure is flying by. Look at it. Really is. It really is flying by, mate. I'm watching this little monster grow up as well. A part of this year. It's been blessed, friends. Thank you. I appreciate you being here with me for this stuff. Nia! Kiki, Nia! She got to the back of it. Man, awareness, please. I feel like I'm going to have to start locking her up, because I have no train of thought. I haven't focused for a single second this entire stream, I feel. It's just constantly just being distracted. I'm this little ship on a very vicious ocean that is Kiki, and I'm just being blown around, water is throwing me this side and that side. Smoking it, I've only tried chamomile. Yeah, you can smoke lavender. You can smoke lavender. I've not tried chamomile. Yeah, it makes it kind of spicy. Herbal baths too. Not some of that oil and pebbles in the bud. Do you make oil? I'm wondering as well. Do you feel you and the monk guy are on the same plane in the consciousness and awareness stuff? What I like about you don't seem to ignore serious questions. I try to ignore no questions whatsoever, friend. And especially, I try to not ignore questions that are difficult for me, right? Because if I start doing that, then I'm kind of subtracting myself away from all of the experience I'm supposed to be having. So, I don't judge in the way of oh, I'm on, this plane of existence or this plane of consciousness and awareness, and you're this and that. I believe we're all on the same plane of consciousness / awareness. We're just choosing, how much of it we're experiencing in any time. Our awareness is what modulates our existences. Do-do-do-do. Oh, nice. I like the herbal bath idea. I only use salt in my baths. I don't have the tools to make the oil, but I always have it nearby just to put it on my skin and sniff it. That sounds amazing. Like if you add some of that oil to your bath, I think it will serve the same function, Rena. I got to get going. I love you all so much. So proud to be here, and I can. I love you all. And a great sunny loving day from the brother in Montana. Thank you so much, Ryan. Sending you love it. Light, my friend. I hope that you have an absolutely fantastic day as well. I feel so lost right now. Goodness. I just need to find myself. Right here at this moment. She's like, what? You trying to gather yourself? You trying to compose yourself? No, stop it. Stop biting the cushion. What are those consequences, dogequences you speak of? Consequences. My friend, like all of our actions have consequences at the end of the day, right? Like if you're doing something that is not beneficial to the whole, if you're destroying for the sake of destruction, like it may serve some part of yourself, right? Like an angry part. Like I'm curious. Like I'm thinking now specifically back to when me and my little brother had like this, for some reason, this vandal streak / consciousness like coursed through us, and there was this small little building on our farm, and like it was uninhabited, but it had windows, and we were like throwing rocks at the windows, right? So like I'm questioning my own consciousness in that as well. I'm questioning my own consciousness in that as well, and like asking myself if that is me living out of like fear and judgment as a child, and that's the reason I was doing these things, because it's like just me just like breaking things for the sake of breaking things, right? Like hurting for the sake of hurting, like not just being playful, but actually being a little bit destructive. And like I got the biggest beating of my life from my dad because of that. So I realized that there was consequences to the things that I chose to do in my life. And it was this just, I mean, like obviously there are consequences to what we do in our lives, right? I'm just like wondering now, me choosing to inflict those consequences. Ouch! Like that's a consequence, right? She bit me, and then I made a very loud noise. And that's not something that's comfortable. Consequence. But now, am I wrong in having exercised that consequence? Like, is it right for me to think that my dad was wrong for giving me a beating because I threw rocks through the windows? Like, that's the question I'm asking myself right now. What do you friends feel? This puppy has my heart. This puppy is like grinding, like putting a grater to my heart right now. Jessie, she's like properly hurt me in today's stream. Can you see that? She's put some holes in my pashmina, pulled some threads out, and yet like I can't hurt her because I realize that it's like a little consciousness as well, right? Hurting her, I don't think would be the consequences I want to influence or like subject her to. But there should be some sort of understanding, right? Dogs do understand that there are consequences to doing things. We all do. Peace, Ryan. Goodbye, Ryan. It's nice to have you, my friend. I hope that you're well, man. Do join us again. We'll see you on the other side. Jessie is gracing us with her presence. She is. How have you been, Jessie? Yo, what up? What did I miss? You always miss a lot with these streams, Sugar Liz. Like I feel like I'm missing some of it even. Like there's so much that happens in a single stream, so much that's explored, so much that's discussed, that it's impossible to summarize. How often do you take monkeys? Like maybe like once a quarter or once a season, friend. Like 4 times a year, I believe is a good ratio to go and play with monkeys. Happy Friday, brother. Make it a great weekend. Thank you so much, friend. Happy Friday to you as well. I hope that you have a good one, Golden Trunk. Oh, sure, Wolf Dash. You gonna calm down for me right now? Huh? Want me to make loud noise again? Don't think so. Hi, Joe. Yes, my school week is over, so I can chill. Summer classes are no joke. 3 hours a day, 4 times a week for 4 weeks. Had a test too. Had a test week 2. Ooh, yeah, that sounds a lot of classes. Like, are you walking different classes for all of those then, or are you doing the same subject for your summer classes for that much time? You know, in your like little summer classes period, if you will. Because if you're doing something that's a little bit different, at least then you're having some variety. But if you're doing the same thing over and over again, that sounds a little bit hectic. Destruction is a reaction to pain, maybe fear. Like the thing is as well, there was fear after the fact. After we've done what we did, then there was fear because we realized that what we've done wasn't something that was supposed to have been done. But I'm genuinely thinking back to where I was in that moment as a child, and like trying to question how I was feeling like energetically. Like I don't understand why I did that. Like I don't have an attachment to that action, if you will. So an interesting video I watched the other day spoke of how our minds can see things when our eyes cannot. They had people blindfolded and they trained their consciousness to see words, colors, and things. Yeah, dude, that's like some MK Ultra little, vibey stuff, dude. Like, it's pretty trippy, dude. Humans are significantly more powerful than we're made to believe at the moment. This Doge is just so rowdy. She's exhausting, is what she is. Then, and now she's exhausted as well. Finally. Oof. Because like it's this battle versus your own will, right? Because you want things to be in a certain way, you expect things to be in a certain way, and then when there's like an external source that kind of influences things to not be in that way, you're straining against your own will to have things, make sense in your world. And like I feel like I'm genuinely kind of coming to this understanding of how I have these feelings of inside of myself and these wants for things to be in a certain way, and yet, like she doesn't necessarily understand that, but she does understand in some ways. Oh, and even though she won't understand everything, I can share at least some of that understanding with her through this discipline, if that makes any sense. In a way, you're breaking them enabled this moment of. In a way, you breaking them enabled this moment of sharing. Yeah, literally, friend. And I feel that's the thing as well. Like, I'm like questioning myself, Like in this moment, I'm like thinking back to everything that she's been doing and how I've been interacting with that energy, and me like disciplining her by making loud noises, like, and I'm questioning how that is perceived by you friends as well. And it's this loop, right? That I'm thinking about how she perceives it, because like she's not worse off for it or harmed for it, right? Because now she's calm and she's still comfortable with being in this space together. And there's actually been studies done where they had 3 groups of puppies. One group of puppies were completely shunned, like the researchers didn't take care of them, kind of were abusive towards them. One group of puppies were only loved and only shown affection, and one group of puppies was disciplined and showed affection. So certain things they got disciplined for doing so that they would stop. And what they found is the third group, the group that was both disciplined and loved, had the most loyalty and affection towards their owners, which is something that's very curious to me. So not only do dogs have an understanding of what discipline is, but it shapes their perception of the person that is disciplining them or taking care of them in general. To see that way, that sounds amazing, Sacred Field. I haven't heard about that, but please do share some links with me. I would love to read up on that. Thank you for the buff doge, Lane. I appreciate that. Buff doge, dude. Man. A meme that got so big it got its own sticker. I don't think they have the inferior doge though. Oh, that's beautiful. She doesn't know her own power yet. My Chihuahua puppy was literally the devil and turned out to be the sweetest dog I've ever known. She would growl and bite as a puppy, but it was just her being playful without understanding her power. Yeah, I understand that as well, Jesse. That's the thing. Like that's why I'm not trying to get this behavior completely out of her because that would be me like stealing from her experience, right? Like she can go and bite things and pull at things all she wants, but as long as she's not being destructive in her nature, that's where I feel some discipline has to kick in. Because like if I just kind of gave her free reign to destroy and to like tear at my pashmina and stuff like that, like where does it end, if you will? Same class, all stuffed into a month's time. Oh, Jesse, I'm thinking about you, friend. Like my heart just became so tender for you. I'm thinking about you. I hope it's you. Okay, I'm guessing you're already done with that, but yeah, that must not have been easy. I'm so happy that you're done with that. Zoinks! Kudos to your grind game, Jesse. What classes? I'm also curious. I'm not a subject. No, you're not, friend. I don't think of you as a subject. It's an interject. Okay, sheesh. Just one class. You got this, Jesse. Yeah, that sounds hectic. I was destructive as a child. I believe it was due to being neglected. So, I was destructive as a child as well, Nate. But I wasn't being neglected. You know, not not in my own opinion. I feel I was just misunderstood. If anything, like most of us sometimes tend to be. It's difficult. Like I think raising a kid possibly the hardest thing there is. And like I'm also questioning myself in the same way, right? Like I want to like I'm going to have kids one day and I would never want to scream at my child in the same way because this is something that makes sense to her, right? So she hears loud noise when she hurts me. She doesn't like that. She stops. But I would never want to use that same technique with an actual child because that is something that would be 100% destructive. So I'm like questioning these things and like trying to understand it inside of myself if the reason I have to employ certain techniques in my discipline is because of my own lack in faculties of how to deal with the situation, or if it's because of her lack in faculties to understand what she's doing isn't something that's appropriate or acceptable, right? I mean, I just like this is a difficult thing that I'm struggling with. I'm not sure exactly how to process it. Clinical methods and procedures for speech therapists. Thank you guys. I've missed you all. Missed you as well, Jesse. It's so nice to have you share some space with us again. Like the Star Wars one, the Force shit is crazy. You have to share some links with me, Sacred Field. I would love to see some of this information, friend. Because I know there's a decriminalized paper that the CIA released about something called HemiSync, which is almost in the same nature of what you're talking about right now, where the frequency of both sides of your brain basically line up to the fact or to the point where they're working together as one cohesive unit instead of being left brain giving instructions of how to do things, right brain being creative in the execution of those instructions, right? Like it's just this homogeneous unit, this thing that works together to kind of process the immediate experience we're having right now. Like how what do you think about this actually, Jesse? Since you're like kind of studying the way the brain works and like there's probably a lot of stuff to do with speech therapy with the both sides of the brain as well. So Have you heard about hemisync? Because it's something that you discuss in your fields of study as well. That poor neglected puppies. Oh, those poor neglected puppies? I don't understand what you mean, Dan. Which puppies are getting neglected? I gave that smile. Thank you. I appreciate that, Jesse. I don't think I've ever seen that little reward before. It's like this dog that like looks over and smiles at you. Here's the link. Thank you, friend. Consequences are a way to bring awareness to your behavior, or I should say, bring awareness to the person receiving the consequences. I do like that, Yater. Consequences are a way to bring awareness to your behavior. Yeah. Because the thing is as well, consequences, like, I feel maybe has a little bit of a negative connotation to it. Consequences is a inevitable and beautiful part about life as well, right? If it wasn't a consequence that when I tip over this bottle of water, water fell into this cup, and as a consequence of that, I get to drink water. Like there would be something fundamentally wrong with our universe. I just think it's in realizing that we have the opportunity to kind of change the consequences, to shape them as well. And depending on what we choose, those shape the consequences that we kind of walk into, in turn shaping what the next consequence is going to be as well, and so on and so forth. You said there were 3 groups of puppies, and the one got neglected. Oh, on the study. Yeah, I'm very sorry about that as well. Like that is not something that I, necessarily think is something that's great, especially about scientific study like that. But I think the data is invaluable as well. And again, this is now another thing with consequences. So, as a consequence of this study, there has been these neglected puppies, right? But also as a consequence of the study, there is this data set / understanding of the neurology and perception of dogs when it comes to how they're being like treated. Like if they just have free reign to do whatever it is they want to do, they kind of lose respect / seriousness or understanding of the hierarchy situation. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's a hierarchy thing, situation between human beings and dogs, versus when they're disciplined, they kind of, like in the same way, like I think dogs discipline each other as well. Like for instance, Bingo, like when she was like biting at his face and stuff, he would like make barking sounds at her and bite at her as well. And if he could see where he was biting, he'd probably like actually bite her. So he's also in his own way disciplining her by telling her these things that you're doing right now is not okay, right? Stop doing it. And then like she learns from that as well. Like it's a curious balance. So could we be acting out as a part of our journey of becoming aware? So could we be acting out a part of our journey of becoming aware? I think we constantly are, right? We're constantly becoming more and more aware. And the more we have to be aware of, the more our data set of awareness grows. So it's like this perpetual snowball effect, if you will. Thank you for joining us, Ragnar. It's nice to have you here. Sometimes living things have to suffer for the sake of science. Not much we can do to get around that. Yeah, dude, like I'm thinking now specifically about like rat studies. If it wasn't for rat studies, like the human medical system and understanding of the medical system would be so far behind. Recently, we did a study where we basically were sampling live rats, like spinal and brain fluids, and we found that dimethyltryptamine is being produced at equivalent levels to dopamine and serotonin in the brain of mammalian animals. Like we don't necessarily know this is guaranteed for human brains as well, but it's more than likely. So with this understanding, like initially we knew for a long time, we've known for a very long time that human bodies produces dimethyltryptamine endogenously. But now we also know, okay, so let me backtrack a little bit. We also kind of assume that even though it is being produced endogenously, and the way we knew about it was like through the sampling of blood slash urine, it was in very trace amounts, so very low in the grand like scheme of compounds that our body was producing. So people kind of chucked it up as like, oh yeah, sure, it's being produced endogenously, but not in enough quantities to actually make a real difference. What we've discovered recently is that that's not actually the case. Dimethyltryptamine is being produced in our human brains at equal and potentially higher levels than dopamine and serotonin in the brain. You know, and that is not something that we can kind of just brush away. Like, even if it does nothing, the fact that there's that much of it in the brain is absolutely astonishing. And what that means for our perception of reality, woo-wee, that's a whole other can of worms that we don't have time to get into. Have you heard of the Rat Park? I've not. Lost City of Monsters. Rat Park. They create a rat paradise to test slash challenge addiction we know about. I've actually heard about that. Yeah, friend. So basically, what Lost City of Monsters is talking about, when they created an environment for rats that is utopian in nature, right? Rat paradise, if you will. They had all of the food they wanted, all of the friends they wanted, all of the mates that they wanted, and they gave them access to like addictive substances. They sometimes would partake, but they never became addicted because it wasn't something that they were doing from this place of lack. If you put a rat in like a little 10-inch by 10-inch cage with nothing, like nothing whatsoever, and you give it a bottle of like substances, it will literally use it until it is dead because that's the only thing there is for it to do. And what we've learned about addiction as well is that the reason people get into these usage patterns is because they feel like this is the only thing that brings them joy in life. They don't have that genuine human connection. They don't have that like friendships that they can lean on. They don't have that relationships that they need to sustain their own understanding of their own masculinity or femininity, and they don't have the security of knowing that there is food for them to eat and there is a place for them to live, right? So, and as you said, they've done in like rat studies now, where if they give all of these things to rats, they like, and they've even done it to the point where I think they got things addicted and then they transfer them to this rat paradise, and they like reverted, they like completely recovered from their addictions even though they were already addicted when they were put into ideal environments. Thought you were afraid. I thought you were Weird Al for a second. Real disappointed. I'm sorry to disappoint you, friend. It's just Meltmore here. That's amazing. Wonder if we can get to a point of upregulating them. Yes, we can, Jovan. Yes, we can. Like it's been I've been straining a little bit and trying to do it. Yeah, I'll keep it there. Thank you for the beating heart. Lost City of Monsters. I appreciate that, friend. When these facilities were liberated by the allies of data retrieved has massively benefited the field of medicine. And it's still going to, friend. Like if we realize like okay, so I'm not actually going to talk about this today because it's a little bit spicy in nature. The gist of what I want to say is that reality, as we understand it and know it right now, is probably going to change significantly with these discoveries becoming more and more prevalent, if you will, within the next few years. And on that note, friends, I look forward to exploring these things with you. I enjoy catching your streams when I can. They are a refreshing perspective. And I appreciate you joining in well. Lost City of Monsters. I appreciate your friend's presence today. Love and light to you. I'll see you again tomorrow, everyone.